We've not heard from you on Lyndon Dykes. Obviously, such devastating news for him, so close to the tournament to be missing out. How big a loss is it for Scotland as well?
No, we're all really disappointed for Lyndon, obviously. I think the boys that got injured earlier get a little bit more time to get over it. Lyndon's is right at the last minute before we go to the tournament. And he's been a good player for us, a pivotal player. One of the best telephone conversations I ever had was when I phoned Lyndon up and gave him the option to come and play for Scotland rather than Australia. Thankfully he chose us. That was 4 years ago, and I think the path that the national team's been on since then has been mainly on an upward trend. So grateful for what he's done up until now. Sad that he misses this tournament, but look forward to working with him again in the future.
Are you able to clarify what the injury is? What happened?
It's an ankle injury. Yeah. No contact, just the way he landed, the way he fell on it. Happens, unfortunately.
Obviously, it leaves you with only two recognised strikers in the squad, and given that he kind of offers you something different in that position, what's the mindset in terms of a replacement?
I've given myself 2 or 3 days just to think about it. There is no like-for-like replacement for Lyndon because he brings his own qualities. I don't really believe in like-for-like. Lyndon brings his qualities. Obviously, we haven't got them, so I'll have a little look at what's around. I'll decide what to do with the squad, and we'll go from there.
I think you've said before that you would maybe look to the under-21s for any kind of call-ups going forward. Would that be the case if you decide to go down that road?
Possibly, but not necessarily. That's what I would do. So, something that we think about all the time. We like to have a connection with Scott's young team. I like to show that there is a pathway to the A squad from the under-21s. But obviously, you've got to consider all options. That's what I'll do.
How has it affected the other players in the squad? Because I guess it's a bit of a concern, isn't it, when they see players getting injured so close to the tournament, they might become a little bit more cautious themselves?
Yeah, well, to be honest, I haven't really noticed that in the training sessions since. Listen, the players are all professional. They understand that sometimes that can happen. Like I said, it was just an unfortunate incident the day before or earlier in the session. Lyndon actually made this similar movement and nothing happened. It's just the way it is. You know, you have to be quite resilient as a coach, as a manager, as a player, and realise that things move forward, and that's what we've done.
It may sound like an obvious question to ask, but how is Lyndon?
It's an obvious answer. He's really disappointed.
In terms of this game, what's the objective? What are you hoping to get out of this one, given the opposition?
For me, it's just a chance to some minutes on the pitch for some players. Maybe a slightly unfamiliar lineup in terms of people starting the game. Still got 1 or 2, not injury doubts, but people coming back from a longer-term injury. So we're careful to manage minutes, and it's one of them. It's just a little balancing act to make sure that we get a good performance and hopefully a good result.
How important is it to see some players from you in a competition, or obviously friendly, but almost like a competitive game that you maybe haven't seen before?
No, just nice to see them on the pitch. Obviously, I've seen them all playing. I've seen them all playing at some stage. Some of them, like I said, maybe didn't get the minutes they wanted towards the end of the club season. So hopefully we can give them some that get them up to speed for the tournament itself.
Steve, can I just ask, are there other players that have still got to kind of prove their fitness? I don't know, the likes of Stuart Armstrong, Scott McTominay, are they kind of going to be fit if needed at this stage?
For this game?
Well, for this game and
Scott McTominay won't play this game. Stuart Armstrong won't play this game. John Souttar won't play this game.
But going forward, they're on course.
I'm pretty confident they'll all be good for the next game.
And just going back to the striker situation, you obviously giving yourself a couple of days to think about it. Are you definitely going to call someone else up, or is it a case of?
No, that's why I'm thinking about
it. So obviously, there's players maybe haven't played for 4 or 5 weeks as well. Are you likely to see them tomorrow, just to give them?
The ones that need minutes, I'll get minutes.
And obviously, you know, you mentioned it'd be a difficult thing for the squad to deal with as well. Is Lyndon, just losing him as well? Is that the sort of thing that can maybe even bring people close together? Have you got to try and use that as a kind of a way to, you know, to help the situation, the squad, just bring them together and do it for Lyndon almost as well?
I think we're a pretty close group anyway. We've built up a good relationship with each other across my time in charge as the head coach. So we're in a pretty good place when it comes to togetherness and understanding what we're trying to do.
And I noticed Greg Taylor, Scott McKenna are back with you as well. You've got everybody together again.
Yeah, everyone here.
Okay, so questions from Gibraltar.
Hi, Jose from Gibraltar TV. Steve, a game against Gibraltar, which is, of course, a lesser level than what's expected in the Euros. How handy is it a game like this against lower opposition before a big competition?
I think the most important thing for this game is that I've got players who need to play some minutes on the pitch, so that was the thinking behind taking it. Obviously, it's a nice venue for both countries to come here and play in a neutral venue. We expect a tough game, always tough. I think if you go into every game at international level, you always respect your opponent, and that's what we'll do. And we look forward to hopefully a good performance from us and a good result on the night.
And Gibraltar, of course, play a low defensive block. Will you be hoping to work on some things tactically with that?
Yeah, we can work on one or two things, but we're obviously working on our progress towards the championship. Gibraltar will bring their own style of play, and then it'll be up to us to break them down and hopefully score a few goals. But like I said before, we respect every opponent that we play.
And on a lighter note, I'm not sure you'll remember, in 1991 you were part of the Chelsea squad that played Gibraltar in a friendly match. Is it nice to see a small nation come so far?
Yeah, I think they've come a long way since then. We were one of the first teams to go over. I remember, I actually didn't play the game, I was injured. I sat on the bench. Thankful to sit on the bench because at that time it was the AstroTurf pitch with the very, very short artificial grass. It was a little bit bouncy and a little bit sore on the backs. But we had a wonderful weekend in Gibraltar at that time, and the people of Gibraltar made us very welcome. Thanks, Jose.
Terrific. Thanks, folks.
Please,
Good, last one, straight back, stick, hold it, three, straight back, stick and hold it, straight back, stick and hold it. follow me. Just keep squatting, keep squatting, keep squatting.